It's just kind of a lonely mountain. Well, friends, good morning. It is another rainy, dreary, tropical storm day, but the weather looks to be improving this afternoon, according to all reports. We are setting out on what was supposed to be the highlight of my year. I don't know if it was going to ever be the highlight of Rachel's, but
let's see.
Like I said, the weather up north looks better than here, and it actually doesn't look too bad. Where we're camped here in, what's this town called?
Charlemont is the name of the closest town, or Shelburne Falls. We're kind of equidistant between the two.
If you haven't been watching, this is Country Aire Campground here in Massachusetts, and we've had a good stay here. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary or anything. We forgot the trash.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're leaving for real this time. What trailhead are we starting at?
We're starting at the Old Toll Road trailhead. You have to have a permit for a day use permit for using the park. When you log into their Reserve America system, you have to choose which trailhead you're starting at and type in your vehicle information. That way they know that you are permitted to park at whichever trailhead you choose to begin at. We're starting at Old Toll Road because that is where the trail begins that we have chosen to hike. There's 2 or 3 others.
And how much did the permit cost?
I don't remember.
Well, we'll figure it out and we'll put it in the video, because I've seen a lot of videos on Monadnock, but not really mentioning of the fact that you have to have a permit to do this. So I want to make sure that you guys know that. It is about an hour drive from here, so we'll catch up with you along the way or when we get there. Alright, so friends, we've made it to New Hampshire for the first time ever, and we've made it to Old Toll Road parking area, right? That's where we're at?
That's where we are.
They even have someone stationed here at the parking area, and she gave us a map, which is awesome. Told us the best way to get to the top, and like if there's any kind of updates or anything on trails or anything, these people at the trailheads are the best resource as it relates to that. Mm-hmm. We've never been here before, obviously, so what did she say? Go up the Old Toll Road?
We can go up the Old Halfway House Trail, or we can go up the Old Toll Road to the Halfway House site, and then we need to follow the White Arrow Trail to the top.
Alright, so that's the plan. Depending on how things go, we might try to go up one way and down another. I think I had looked at it before, and just to see a little bit of different scenery. The clouds are still really low. It is drizzling a little bit, but it's supposed to get sunny this afternoon. I keep seeing that and hearing that. We're hoping by the time we get to the top, maybe some of this nonsense blows out of here. We're just going to take our time going up because I think the better weather is coming. So friends, a couple things I want to bring up as we're starting this hike. This is the second most climbed mountain in the world, and probably a lot of you are going to say, well, I've never even heard of it. Mount Monadnock. To be honest, until recently, never did either. I first seen this Cliff, the Wandering Woodsman. He did this last year, probably about this time. So he has a whole series on this region, and that's worth checking out. In my more recent research of the area, I've discovered a fella up here in this area. He has 2 channels. One is Barking Up the Right Tree, which is a tree-oriented, a lot of knowledge as far as identifying the trees in this region. So he did this up to Monte Rosa, where we're headed, because when Cliff was here, he did the White Dot Trail. So I'll have links to all of that stuff in the description, so that if you want to go check that out, you can. And all of it is definitely worth your time to look into if you're interested in this kind of stuff. The leaves are starting to change just a little bit. The reds are definitely starting to pop out, and some yellows as well. Friends, this is the end of September. We're predating the fall foliage by just a bit. I think as we get up above, we may see more, and everywhere where we've been driving around, it's kind of hit or miss. Probably the north-facing slopes that get a little less sun are starting to change. Another interesting thing so far that we've started to see is the stone walls that are everywhere along this hike, and those are all because this whole area was used for grazing purposes back in the day, and the stone walls, of course, marked property lines and also kept cattle and other things from, they wouldn't climb over the stone walls. The trail is rocky so far, you know, kind of interesting for footing. I got some new hiking boots specifically for this adventure. It seems we're doing a lot more hiking, so the Merrells I had before were very old and had essentially zero tread on them, and I knew for this that I wanted some shoes with some tread. And I normally hate shoes with laces. With the kind of stuff we're getting into, having slip-ons is just not doing it for me anymore. But then these, I've already had them come untied on me. So is that any better that you're tripping over shoelaces? I don't know. Also, I got these hiking pants because I've found that some of the stuff we're doing, you want long pants to keep the bugs and stuff away, even in the heat, and you need something lightweight. I guess I'm kind of becoming a real hiker as far as equipment goes. Rachel has had some of this stuff for quite some time. I don't like to spend money on clothing. I prefer to spend it on gas to drive to places that are interesting to see. So this is a beautiful forest. Look at that. All the birch and the sunlight coming through. It does seem like the wind is blowing away some of the clouds and precipitation up above us. So I really hope that all that stuff, it's really, really windy up there, and I'm hoping that it just blows it all out of here and we'll get to see some views from the top. It would be really nice to get some luck on this trip. So far we just haven't had it. I think irregardless, this is still going to be a challenging and rewarding experience hiking up this mountain. So we're going to keep on trucking. I think we got a long way to go. We're still on the old toll road trail, I think is what it's called. So we haven't even made it to the halfway house yet. Well, friends, it appears we have made it to the halfway house site. Built in 1860, and something happened to it in 1954. So it is no longer here, of course. The White Arrow Trail should just be right up ahead. There's really, really not much to see in this particular location. If you are truly halfway, well then that's awesome. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I don't know what that means for our endeavors. Continued for hope for the clouds to get out of here. Eventually we're hoping to get some views once we get above the tree line. So, or we'll just see clouds like yesterday at Greylock. I don't know. We have finally made it to the White Arrow Trail, and I can't imagine why they call it the White Arrow Trail, but it's probably because they've got white arrows on the rocks here to show you where to go. But friends, we're not actually going to stay on the White Arrow Trail, which goes up that way. We'll probably come down that way. This here is the Fairy Spring Trail, and that is going to lead us over to Monte Rosa. So we're gonna check that out. I think that there's views from Monte Rosa, so that's why we're gonna go this way. And it's a little bit of the path less traveled, and like I said, plus you get to see two different trails, or at least we will, because I don't know how much we'll film on the way down. Rachel's app on her phone has confirmed that those are red spruce trees with the pointy needles, which was also what I was thinking that they were, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's correct. I'm getting better when it comes to trees, and I do believe that these are red spruce, so. And friends, welcome to Facet's Mountain House. wouldn't this be an epic place to live? You can see there's a stone foundation and a square here around me. I'm sure back in the day, because all of this was used for grazing, that there were no trees. You could have probably seen for miles from here. Beautiful, beautiful place. Looks like we're about to start to go up. So friends, here is the Fairy Spring, and I'll tell you what, I haven't seen any fairies yet, but it is kind of a magical spot. I'm really glad we came this way. We almost didn't. There's some water coming this way, and then there's some coming out of the rocks over there, and I'm going to get you some footage of that. But look at this around me. What a spot. There's just so much to take in here on this hike so far.
I'm glad we went this way too. This is very, this setting, I don't know if anyone ever read or watched Tuck Everlasting, but this setting is very much, it's making me think of Tuck Everlasting. I kind of want to go back and watch it whenever I get the chance.
I have no idea what that is.
Just for nerds, I guess.
We're going up that way. So you can see the ruggedness of the trail. Would you say this is probably one of the more rugged trails that we've done?
Yeah, this is one of what they call the footpaths. And it says on the map these may be more challenging. I don't know what the other one's like yet, but this is definitely a challenging trail.
Yeah, if you're physically able though, I highly recommend coming over here. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Friends, we've now reached the Monte Rosa Trail, and we're going to continue up to, I believe that's a summit, and I'm hoping it's below the clouds because I really want to get views of something. And I think the summit of Monadnock, obviously, who's to say what we're going to be able to see. So this, I think, is a good opportunity to get a little bit of viewpoint, and I think that from what I understand, this trail is probably just as difficult as the Fairy Spring trail that we were just on. It's so windy up here, I don't think this even knows what direction to blow. The wind's actually coming from that way. So that's why I can talk to you with it this way. I don't know what lake that is, but it's beautiful out here. I mean, you can see the whole world. Monadnock is behind us, or behind you guys. I can't tell for sure if the summit is beneath the clouds or not, but I'll tell you what, the views from here make up for whatever we might not be able to see up there. This is spectacular here. 2,540 feet in elevation where we're at currently. And friends, here on Monte Rosa, I believe all these trees around us are balsam fir because they're very soft needles, soft and short. So that makes me believe it's a fir, and I do believe that balsam fir is what grows around here. We're having a little bit of a hard time finding the Smith Summit Trail, but maybe we're on the right track at this point. I think we got to go down to go up. Down on the rock where I'm standing, there's like a seam of, I'm guessing it's granite, but it's a really pretty rock. I'd like to know, this might not show up well in the footage, I'd like to know what that tree is over there. I want to say a white pine maybe, but I don't know. It's tough to say. It's some sort of thing with long needles. Just down there, that's Monte Rosa where we were. This place is awesome. If you never knew about this before and you know about this now, you need to put this on your bucket list because it's an epic bucket list hike. Friends, where we're at now, this is the Amphitheater Trail, which connects Smith Summit to the White Arrow Trail. So we're kind of zigzagging our way up to some degree. We want to take the White Arrow Trail up simply because we think that it may be easier than Smith Summit, but we don't know. So that's our goal for now. We'll catch up with you in a minute. Friends, I imagine this feature right here down below me is the amphitheater. Thus, this is called the Amphitheater Trail. It's also called Black Precipice Trail, so there are two names, but the Amphitheater Trail is what's on the map, so that's what I'm calling it. And, of course, you have a great view from here. Hopefully you can see it through the raindrops on the camera lens. There's a cool rock feature over in the distance there. Probably be really neat to get to. I don't know what it's called. I'd have to look at the map. It's not Monte Rosa. That's back behind us. There was a time you could see both. But as we're making our way across the Amphitheater Trail back towards White Dot, we're getting close to that. And the lakes in the distance are cool too. Friends, as it turns out, the Amphitheater Trail was probably it was definitely a big mistake. If you have any sort of fear of heights, that is not a good one for you. We kind of thought it'd be easier to get over here to the White Arrow Trail to get to the summit, and now I'm not so sure that was the smart choice, but we'll see. I don't know what this trail is going to be like. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to the top, but we're going to try, I guess. But we've now linked up with the White Arrow Trail. You can see the summit just up ahead. I really don't know what we're in for, friends. When you watch this stuff on videos, it's not going to do justice the situations that you're actually in and the difficulty level of it. This is not an easy task, which is why we don't have the kids here. Like, we knew this wasn't going to be easy. This would not be doable carrying William. Sarah could do the hike, but Rachel wouldn't be able to do the hike while Sarah was here. So that's why we're here by ourselves. It's a beautiful place. That's really, I mean, even if you only came to here, it'd be awesome. We haven't seen anybody on the trail yet, but we have heard some voices. The White Arrow is more popular. Of course, it's a weekday, bad weather. So that's probably part of it too. So we're gonna keep going up and keep showing you what we see along the way. And this place here, friends, is simply unique. There must be a spring oozing out over here someplace, and it's a neat little wetlands here, full of red pine. And these big boulders. It's really quite awesome. Or red spruce, rather. Red spruce, not red pine. I hope the camera's doing justice to what's around me. This is a good spot. This might be one of my favorite spots, and you can't even see anything as far as off the mountain goes. Friends, it's incredibly windy. You can probably see the summit just up that way. That's where I'm headed. Rachel's decided to stay down below, and in all honesty, that's probably for the better. So I'm gonna head up and try to experience it, and I'm gonna follow the White Arrow Trail back down to where she's at. So onward and upward. Friends, the wind has really quieted down. It's almost as if the earth has kind of stood still for a second. It's an eerie feeling, especially given that I'm kind of alone up here on this mountain now. Yeah, it's creepy. All I've really got is these white arrows pointing me towards the top. I think we're almost there. The scenery is gorgeous up here. Just up ahead, friends, somewhere up there, there's some white arrows. That's where we're going. Trying to figure out, once you get up, how do you get back down? It's steep. I'm sure the video doesn't do it justice. See if I can zoom in on one of the arrows. Anyhow, we'll try to figure out how to get up, and then we'll try to figure out how to get back down. Up first, down second. Friends, I don't know if you can hear me, but the wind up here is like something I've never felt before in my whole life. It's crazy. You can't see anything. I mean, you could when I first got up here, but a bunch of fog just rolled in. It's crazy. It's probably okay that she didn't come up here because you can't really see anything. So, I mean, it's not that great of an experience right at this particular moment. Friends, just kind of sitting here on the ledge. It's not windy here. It reminds me of when we did the Maryland High Point, where whatever direction the wind's coming from, and then you're on the other side, you're sheltered from it. Friends, this was supposed to be an epic day, and an epic video, and an epic everything. Epic location. And it is that. Don't get me wrong, this is a beautiful place, beautiful scenery. It's an awesome accomplishment that I was able to come up here. But I can't honestly say at this point that this is ever going to be remembered as like the best experience ever. I don't know, this whole trip's been a downer for me. Sometimes when you have real high expectations for a place, it doesn't live up to it, or the magic of the journey doesn't live up to it, or whatever. And so I'm sitting here filming with my phone with no microphone because the battery in this camera's dead, and my partner's at the bottom of the hill with the batteries. And so it's just kind of a lonely mountain. And that's all it is. So you can sort of see this way. The camera doesn't seem to want to pick up what you can see, and the fall foliage is starting to kick into gear.
So even though this hike and this trip has not turned out the way we had hoped, please stay tuned because next week we visit an epic location and the weather definitely improves.